As a boy down in Aiken, South Carolina, at Sunday school, I was taught that God created the white man as the superior race. And he, after the flood, when Noah was celebrating the end of this great deluge, he got drunk and took off all of his clothes and was doing the striptease. And one of his sons, named Ham, thought that this was really funny, and he started laughing. And God looked down from heaven and said, I will not tolerate this disrespect for parents. So he turned Ham black and shipped him off to Africa, and he doomed Ham and all of his descendants to be hewers of wood and drawers of water for their more fortunate brothers. In other words, Africa was of no importance in world history because it was settled by an accursed race. And I got this story in church. When I went to school, I got the same story. And then I would go to church and the preacher would get up and ask us to sing a hymn, "Oh Lord, bleach us out whiter than snow that we may enter into the kingdom of heaven." And then I say to myself, I don't think I'm going to make it. Then they had another one. You can have all the world, but just give me Jesus. And I began to have the idea that there was something wrong with this. I couldn't imagine that everybody else had a history, but only the African people didn't have one. And then I began to study the theory of evolution. And the Bible, the way the Bible has been corrupted by white folks, you get the idea that the human race started out being white and that the superior type of human being is a white man, and the yellow people and the brown people and the red people, they are a little bit lower, but the black man is the low man on the totem pole. He's the nobody. So I said to myself, I know there's something wrong with this. So I got up to Harlem and heard Dr. Harrison lecture and heard J.A. Rogers give lectures, and I went and studied with Schomburg, and they began to tell me what to read and what to study. And then I found out that the first human beings were not white folks, they were black people, because the human race started in Africa millions of years ago. And these black people were the first members of the human race, and some of them wandered into Europe and got bleached white, and some of them wandered into Asia and got bleached out yellow, and some of them wandered into America and got bleached out red. But the original man was the black man. And then I found out another thing, that in these these people wrote their own histories, and the Christians say that God is an oversized man. Their image of God is a big man. These ancient people in Africa said that the first God was a woman. They said because in the process of evolution, the female sex is the primary sex, and it comes first. So the woman must have become before the man. And if the first human being was made in the image of God, God must have been a woman. And there's a book out now by an author named Merlin Stone, When God Was a Woman. Now, I began to study, and I found out that you go back and study the ancient history of Egypt, and especially the religion of ancient Egypt, and they had a Bible. I have a good English translation of it in 3 volumes in one, called the Theban Recension of the Book of the Dead. And in this, you take this Egyptian Bible and compare it with the King James Bible, which is popular among the Protestant denominations in the United States. And you study the Egyptian Bible and you study the Christian Bible. The Egyptian Bible goes back 10,000 years. The King James Bible only goes back about 300 years. The King James, I think it was about 1619. And then you study these two books and compare. And you find out that the Christians took the whole Christian Bible, the Old Testament and the New Testament, out of the Egyptian Book of the Dead. So that if you want to go to the source, don't go to King James. Go to ancient Egypt, and you've got a Bible that's 10,000 years older than anything that these Christians have.